Yet another year of Brawl Stars has approached its fast end. This year had many ups and downs, a lot of growth as a game, but also glitches. So here's the best glitches of Brawl Stars 2024. 2024 glitches started off with Kit. His supercharge rate used to scale with power cubes, allowing him to do infinite stuns or just permanently stay on top of enemies. And you may be thinking, oh, why doesn't someone just attack the Kit on top of the brawler? Well, that just didn't seem to work, as at the time Kit was invincible while on top of an enemy. So 2024 had already started off with the recipe for disaster. Ultimately, he got this fixed and even lost his immunity while on top of enemies, knocking him right back in line, but strangely enough, this was just after the free-to-play players could finally access Kit. Next, there was a series of fake Brawl Pass returns where players could basically do some weird change of their accounts or whatever else, and in turn receive 5,000 gems as compensation, as if they had tricked the game into losing the Brawl Pass or something similar. This was obviously bannable, but what's probably worse than getting a ban is getting tricked into someone offering you the beloved collectible Brawl Pass, making you feel so happy, and then just refunding it. Since they paid, they can refund it, and it ends up leaving you in debt of 5,000 gems. This negative gem balance is not a place you want to be in, because as far as I know, the shop might be constructed in a way that in order for you to claim free items, you must have a gem balance of greater than or equal to 0 gems. Clash Royale was like this, and if this was the case, you wouldn't be able to get free stuff anymore. But again, that might not be the case for Brawl Stars. February, from what I've seen, was a pretty clean month. But they did have this one really specific glitch where you could play Larry and Lori and equip them both with the crappy shotgun ticket blaster weapon. Basically, if you use the order swap gadget, you get a shotgun and Lori gets the throw attack, but if you then spawn a new Lori, he also gets the shotgun. So game breaking, wow. Next up was in March when Doug randomly just had his healing doubled. This was, as you can imagine, a huge buff. It didn't really last that long, but it was enough to make itself one of the top glitches of 2024. It also happened again when Draco Doug came out, so we'll just leave it at that, I guess. At the end of April, the Mutations event was introduced to Brawl Stars, including 40 odd abilities to different brawlers, but more importantly, the Godzilla mode. This was where you could turn into the big scary Godzilla himself and basically just be a free target for all the enemies. But if you activated an Otis gadget before hitting the Godzilla switch, all of your attacks would have a little bit of fat splatter, and it was both broken and pleasing at the same time. Then, on May 28th, Ash was disabled from the game because he had a game crashing bug in duels where pairing him with Larry and Lori in a specific way would basically just cause the game to crash. But both players would play it out as bots and you would win. So this basically meant free trophies, leaving Ash to be disabled, but it weirdly left Larry and Lori untouched even though they were equally as guilty. This next glitch was certainly a bit more minor, but at the end of June, Bonnie was suddenly able to dash through walls using her crash test gadget, and this was something I never got to experience myself, but I'm sure it was probably pretty fun to use in showdowns. They make a lot of brawlers go through walls. The next thing discovered was that Willow's mind control super can actually use other brawlers' supers. I'm not sure how long this glitch has existed for, but between you and me, it does still exist. And this was also one of those glitches that I actually had noticed while playing on my own, and I made a video about it. Basically, if you were to spam the super button up close with Willow, there was a chance that the mind-controlled enemy would immediately fire their own supers from a combination of both luck and good timing by the Willow. 10 of 10 would recommend. July also brought us a minor glitch with Lily where she was able to throw a repot super at her feet and then have infinite repot supers for either the remainder of that life or the entire match or something like that. Needless to say, this was of course taken care of within a few days. We move into August, and you know how Barley's attack spreads as it aims further? Well, if you start his super and then teleport across the map, his attacks would spread super far, likely just proportional to the super distance that he tossed the bottles from. This next one existed forever, but it's just going in August for the sake of this video. Gus has weird projectile launches if it is going to land over water. My theory is, the game assumes he'll spawn a spirit after every attack, and because of that, since they can't land over water... Whoa, hold up. I think I just noticed something new. I hit that Buzz Lightyear with a Gus super, but you can't see the number of the shield I applied to him. I think it's under that sword or something. There you go, bonus content, use code Jimbo. Anyways, back to the video. Since they can't land over water, it, within reason, picks the nearest non-water tile to end on. This is similar to Bull's, Super, and Grom's attacks. Next up, we have another Willow glitch, which is small and will probably always exist, but basically, if Willow mind controls as Pam with a deployed turret, the turret will heal itself at its own rate of healing. Like, okay gang. And while we're on the topic of Willow, I'm not sure if this is a glitch or not because it's always been a thing, but if you mind control an enemy in Volley Brawl and hit the ball on their side, it launches to your team's side, but if it lands, you get the point. This works out to be a pretty decent strategy. In September, during the prime of the SpongeBob crossover event, it was discovered that you can basically build a power cube farm using support brawlers whose supers can be charged without attacking an enemy. Because of this, these support trios would hide from combat and then just appear at Showdown with like 50 cubes built up, ready to decimate whoever may be left. In October, the Trio Showdown game mode was exploited by cycling the respawn timers into Storm and basically surviving forever. This resulted in a permanent Storm rework. Then, in the end of October, one of the updates randomly enabled Byron to heal all pets or friendly turret spawnables. This was kind of interesting, but the best part was that it could heal a Charlie cocoon. So, this of course meant that you could essentially trap enemies within the cocoons forever. That was diabolical. Then, the Angels vs Demons update came, which was filled to the brim with glitches. Angels vs Demons glitches could honestly have a video of their own, so here's just the top few. Spike had a glitch where he could literally heal infinitely with his fertilized star power, given that he equipped the Demon Fire ability. This was basically because it assumed everything Spike put on the floor was a Spike super or something like that, and all of his individual ground flames were their own healing unit for Spike. So, he could spin in circles and build up a massive healing apparatus that would eternally protect the cactus. But this did not work in his favor in the long run. Miko also had a slightly less severe version of the Demon Fire glitch. For him, his Record Smash star power would work with his fire that he spawned, meaning that it could do double damage on all applicable targets. This further meant that he could basically one-shot the Ike turret with a super. This was not a fun time. Charlie using a Revengeance during this event was actually pretty cool, but that was because when her spiders died, they unleashed a Revengeance bomb. This was quite deadly. And then, when Rebirth came about, Trio Showdown again became a bit of an issue, as a team all using this ability could again survive forever in the storm. And now we have this, which is a modern glitch that will hopefully be patched by the time you see this video. Stu, in mid-December, also received a pay-to-win skin. If you have his Santa Stu skin, your Hyper Super trails do both a Hyper Super and regular Super damage stacked, totaling 900 damage per second instead of the normal 500. And now that brings us to the present day. I can't wait to see what 2025 brings us. Use code Jimbo.